Let's talk mistakes. Are you gearing up to buy your first place? Shopping for a home is exciting, exhausting, and a little bit scary. In the end, your aim is to end up with a home you love at a price you can afford. Sounds simple enough, right? Well, unfortunately, many people make mistakes that prevent them from achieving that simple dream. Now, arm yourself with these tips to get your most out of your purchase and avoid making 10 of the most costly mistakes that could put a hold on that sold sign. Number 1, not knowing what you can afford. Now, what the bank says you can afford and what you know you can afford or are comfortable with paying are not necessarily the same thing. If you don't already have a budget, make a list of all your monthly expenses, not including your rent, by the way, including your vehicle costs, student loan payments, credit card payments, groceries, health insurance, if you have retirement savings, and so on. Now, don't forget your major expenses that only occur once a year, like any insurance premiums you pay annually or annual vacations. Now, subtract this total from your take-home pay, and you'll know how much you can spend on your new home each month. Now, if you end up looking at homes that are outside your price range, you'll end up lusting after something you can't afford, which can put you in a dangerous position of trying to stretch beyond your means financially. Number 2, skipping mortgage qualification. Now, this goes along with the previous mistake. What you think you can afford and what the bank is willing to lend you may not match up, especially if you have poor credit or unstable income. So make sure to get pre-approved for a loan before placing an offer on a home. If you don't, you'll be wasting the seller's time, the seller's agent's time, and your agent's time if you sign a contract and then discover later that the bank won't lend you what you need, or that it's only willing to give you a mortgage that you find unacceptable. Also, in this market, home sellers will not even accept your offer unless you've been pre-approved by a lender. This could be a big problem if you find the perfect home and the seller takes a different offer while you are going through the pre-approval process. It happens all the time, so get a pre-approval before you start looking. Number 3, changing your credit in midstream. So the first thing I tell every buyer client after we've had an offer accepted is not to buy anything else on credit until after we close. Because even if you've been pre-approved for your mortgage, your loan can still fall through at the last minute if you do something to alter your credit score after your loan approval, like finance a large purchase like a car. If you cause the deal to fall through, by the way, you may have to forfeit the several $1,000s you put up as earnest money when you went under contract. So this is important. Never make a large purchase on credit after you have been pre-approved and your home purchase is not yet completed. Also, don't open any more credit accounts of any type until you complete your home purchase. The lender will do another credit check just before closing, and these things will show up. Number 4, failing to consider additional expenses. Now, once you're a homeowner, you're going to have additional expenses on top of your monthly payments. Now, unlike when you were a renter, you'll be responsible for things like paying property taxes, insuring your home against disasters, and making any repairs the house needs, so keep that in mind as well. Now, if you're interested in purchasing a condo or a townhome, you'll have to pay homeowners association costs. That's monthly, whether or not anything needs fixing because you're part of a homeowners association. Now, that means the homeowners association collects a payment each month from the owners of each unit in the complex. You also want to make sure you still factor in that your house buying budget, as we discussed earlier. By the way, your lender will take that into consideration when you're applying for a loan. Number 5, being too picky. Go ahead and put everything you can think of on your new home wish list, but don't be so inflexible that you end up continuing to rent for significantly longer than you really want to. First-time home buyers especially often have to compromise on something because their funds are limited. You may have to live on a busy street, accept outdated decor, maybe even make some repairs or improvements to the home, or forego that extra bedroom. Very few home buyers find a home that has all of the things on their wish list. Number 6, lacking vision. Even if you can't afford to replace the hideous wallpaper in the bathroom now, it might be worth it to live with the ugliness for a while in exchange for getting into a house that you can afford. If the home otherwise meets your needs in terms of the big things that are difficult to change, such as the location, the size, don't let the physical conditions or imperfections turn you away. Besides, doing home upgrades yourself, even when you have to hire a contractor, is often cheaper than paying the increased home value to a seller who has already done the work for you. Number 7, being swept away. Now, minor upgrades and cosmetic fixes are inexpensive tricks and are a seller's dream for playing on your emotions and eliciting a much higher price tag. So let's say sellers may pay $2,000 for minimal upgrades or staging that you'll end up paying $20,000 for. If you're on a budget, look for homes with full potential that has yet to be realized. Also, first-time home buyers should always look for a house they can add value to, as this ensures a bump in your equity to help you up the property ladder. Number 8, compromising on the important things. This is just the opposite of mistake number 5, overlooking important things. Don't get a 2-bedroom home when you know you're planning on having kids and will want 3 bedrooms. And by the same token, don't buy a condo just because it's cheaper when one of the main reasons you hate apartment life is because you hate sharing walls with the neighbors. It's true that you'll probably have to make some compromises to be able to afford your first home, but don't make a compromise that will be a major strain on your daily living conditions. Number 9, neglecting to inspect. It's tempting to think that you're a homeowner the moment you go into escrow, but not so fast. Before you close on that sale, you need to know what kind of shape the house is in. You don't want to get stuck with a money pit or with the headache of performing a lot of unexpected repairs. Always get a professional home inspection. Keep your feelings in check until you have a full picture of the house's physical condition, and the soundness of your potential investment will help you avoid making serious financial mistakes. Number 10, not choosing to hire an agent or using the seller's agent. Once you're seriously shopping for a home, don't walk into an open house, and certainly don't sign anything without having your own agent. Agents are held to the ethical rule that they must act in both the seller and the buyer's party's best interest. But you can see how that might not work in your best interest if you start dealing with the seller's agent before contacting one of your own. An agent costs you nothing as a buyer. The seller pays all agent costs, both his agent and yours. An agent that has only your best interest at heart will help you get the best deal possible. So there you go. Buying a home can seem stressful and overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be if you're prepared. If you're aware of these issues ahead of time, you can protect yourself from costly mistakes and shop with confidence. Now, for many people, a home is the largest purchase they will ever make, but it need not be the most difficult. So I hope these tips helped, and of course, as always, please don't hesitate to call, text, or email me at the information below. If you have any questions about this or any other real estate or lending related subject, even if you're not ready to buy or sell right now, I'm always happy to help in any way that I can. Also, if you like my videos, please don't hesitate to comment, share, and even better, subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the subscribe button below. And if you click on the little bell next to the button, you'll receive a notification anytime I put up something new. So I hope you're having a great day, and remember, together we can make it happen.